And they should make 13 commandments. Don't covet your neighbor's donkey, too. They should have made a third one out of that, but they tried to maintain the number 10. It says the beast power would think to change times and laws, and they certainly did that. What do Sunday churches say about this problem? Now, friends, stay with me. I'm going to do some reading here. I'm going to just read quotes from other churches, scholars, official statements, so they know that something is wrong. Baptist, from the Baptist Manual, there is no scriptural evidence of the change of the Sabbath institution from the seventh to the first day of the week. That's pretty clear, amen? No scriptural evidence. Another Baptist commentary, this is called The Lord's Day in Our Day by William Owen Carver. There was never any formal or authoritative change from the Jewish seventh-day Sabbath to the Christian first-day observance. It's not there. Alexander Campbell, one of the leaders in the Church of Christ, I do not believe the Lord's Day was changed from the seventh day to the first day. Catholic, this is from the book Cardinal James Gibbon's Faith of Our Fathers. You may read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation. You'll not find a single line authorizing the sanctification of Sunday. The Catholic Church for over 1,000 years before the existence of a Protestant, by virtue of her own divine mission, changed the day from Saturday to Sunday. They freely admit that they were there. The holy day, the Sabbath, was changed from Saturday to Sunday, the day of the Lord, not based on scriptural authority, but from the church's sense of its own power. Catch the rest of this. People who think the scriptures should be their sole authority should logically become Seventh-day Adventists and keep Saturday holy. Well, they admit it. I appreciate that. Catholic Services Appeal 1995 from St. Catherine Catholic Church, St. Clair Boulevard. You got one from the Anglican Church. And where are we told in the scriptures that we're to keep the first day at all? We're commanded to keep the seventh day, but we are nowhere commanded to keep the first day. The reason why we keep the first day of the week holy instead of the seventh is because the church has enjoined it. I say it's something that church fathers did, but they have no right to change the law of God. Did God say, I'll bless whatever day you pick? Or did he say, you keep my day? And he told us what his day is. It's the Sabbath of the Lord. Is there any command, Episcopal rights, is there any command in the New Testament to change the day of the week of rest from Saturday to Sunday? None. That's their manual of Christian doctrine. Methodist, Harris Franklin Rawle, he's a Methodist theologian. Take the matter of Sunday. There is no passage telling Christians to keep the day.
Doug, you are literally just parroting quotes from this site. 1 second, folks. Simply citing individuals like this as though it's a universal agreed upon thing is ridiculous. Look at this, folks. You can find all the ones that he cited from here. The generic Baptist Church Manual. There's William Owen Carver's. The Lord's Day in Our Day. You can go to all the ones. He went to Church of Christ. That's under here. You can go to Catholic. They love all these same ones that they just parrot and recycle. You've been talking for almost 45 minutes at this point, and you haven't even one time mentioned the new creation. You didn't cite Hebrews 4, 1 through 11. You completely missed why Acts 20, verse 7, Matthew 28, 1, etc. are even cited. You just breezed over them, asking an irrelevant question of where do these verses give us a new commandment when that isn't why they're cited. There's supplemental support for the fact that the church was doing the substance of everything we do today on the first day. Now you parrot a bunch of quotes SDAs regularly circulate and all parrot. And based on your track record thus far with Schaff, the Catholic Encyclopedia, etc., I'm going to go out on a limb here and say you or your assistant didn't read any of these sources either. You simply grabbed from the bag of quotes that you've latched onto for decades and recycle. For example, just go and type in William Owen Carver, The Lord's Day in Our Day, page 49, and look at how many of the sites I just showed you pop up, all parroting these same quotes. And part of the evidence that they clearly didn't read it for themselves, all of them, is the fact that they all left off the letter S. They cite the book wrong, and then they all borrow it. because the book title is The Lord's Day in Our Days, plural. But again, Christian, Adventists love doing this gish gallop on this topic. They'll just throw these quote mine quotes out there and think that it's just like, haha, see, even Protestants know there's a problem. Doug, you said you were citing scholars to try and make the quotes hit harder. W.O. Carver was a professor of missions at Southern Baptist Theological Seminary. His Baptist manual is not a Baptist confession. It was an individual document he put together. Alexander Campbell wasn't even a Christian, but a restorationist that claims the church completely fell away and he was a part of restoring it. You cited the Catholic Mirror, another Catholic source you guys love to use and abuse, which is talking about what I mentioned earlier, the claim to Protestants having no connection back to the apostles, supposedly. And since the apostles instituted such practice in the church by continuing what Jesus started with them, Protestants then have no basis for the practice. That's the context of the discussion, apostolic succession. It's not them admitting what you guys claim about the papacy and Daniel saying that the Pope would change times and laws and all the other great controversy junk that you've read into it. Then he cited their absolute favorite one, the 1995 Catholic Services Appeal, that says if one holds to the sole authority of the Bible, they should be an SDA. They love this quote, as you heard the people in the crowd, which is another example of their cherry picking. They like Rome when it favors them. Otherwise, it's all papal deception and lies. He cites an Anglican and demonstrates he doesn't even know what's being said. That quote isn't referring to the church fathers, Doug. By the church, they mean the apostles. The apostles, not the church fathers. And Protestants, which Anglicans are a part of, and Catholics agree on that. They argue if Protestants do actually go back to the apostles, and if so, how? So then Rome says, if we don't, we have no basis for the first day because it ultimately goes back to Jesus instituting it with the apostles, not the church fathers. What if we did this with SDAs and that was our argument? Look at this SDA over here and over there. They'd get in a tizzy so fast. He very obviously went into one of these, or his assistant, whoever, clearly went into one of these Seventh-day Sabbatarian sites and just mined the quotes without actually examining the document themselves. Because so far, Doug hasn't even engaged with the argument. He's just claimed it has no rhyme or reason, and then he's knocked down a bunch of strawmen, citing other people who could have not been aware of the history or arguments themselves to then use them as a representative of the whole, which is a hasty generalization, not an argument.